Nathan Hale's hand froze midair, his platinum card hovering above the counter. The receptionist's polite smile faltered, her eyes darting past him toward the grand entrance. Nathan followed her gaze, and in that instant, the ground beneath him might as well have given way. Striding across the marble floor, heels striking with steady certainty, was the one woman he thought he had successfully erased from this part of his life, his wife, Evelyn. But she wasn't the timid, broken partner he had left in the shadows. She wasn't wearing sorrow on her face or fragility in her posture. Evelyn's tailored cream suit gleamed under the chandelier light, her presence commanding every glance in the lobby. The staff, who had once scrambled to please Nathan, now whispered her name with reverence. Nathan's throat tightened. The woman clinging to his arm, the glamorous and shallow Claire, noticed the sudden shift in the air. She pressed closer, whispering something playful, until she felt his grip turn stiff. Slowly, her flirtatious smile faded as she realized all eyes weren't on her. They were on Evelyn. The last time Nathan had looked into those eyes, they had been full of quiet hurt. He had thought she would stay silent forever, the loyal wife standing behind the empire he believed was his alone. He had been wrong. Evelyn's gaze didn't waver as she stopped just a few feet away, her lips curving in a knowing half-smile. The murmur of conversations grew louder, like a wave breaking in the distance. Staff exchanged glances, some even bowing slightly in Evelyn's direction. Nathan's chest burned as the truth clawed at him. She wasn't here by coincidence. She wasn't here to plead, cry, or accuse. She was here because the very ground he walked on, the wealth, the company, the legacy, was hers now. Evelyn had watched him drift away, had seen the lipstick stains, the missed anniversaries, the lies woven with careless arrogance. He had believed her silence meant weakness. But while Nathan wasted himself in fleeting indulgences, she had been building something stronger, something untouchable. Every betrayal had fueled her determination. Every broken promise had sharpened her resolve. Now, standing in the very hotel where Nathan flaunted his secrets, Evelyn revealed the truth without uttering a single word. Nathan's hand trembled as he forced the card into the receptionist's hand, but the young man behind the desk hesitated, glancing at Evelyn as if waiting for her approval. Nathan felt his carefully crafted facade splintering, his power slipping through his fingers like shards of glass. And Evelyn, radiant in her unshakable poise, simply watched him crumble. Guests turned their heads as the lobby fell into a hush. With one measured step, Evelyn Hale moved forward, her heels striking the marble floor with a rhythm that cut through the silence like thunder rolling before a storm. Every eye followed her, not because she demanded attention, but because her presence commanded it. She hadn't come to confront Nathan with rage or humiliation. She had come to remind him, without a single word, of everything he had thrown away. The silence stretched, heavy and unrelenting. Nathan's chest tightened as he looked into her eyes and saw the reflection of his own betrayal staring back at him. The lies, the broken promises, the choices that had hollowed out everything they had once built together. His lips parted, desperate to speak, but no sound came. Beside him, Claire Donovan shifted uneasily, the confidence she wore like perfume suddenly evaporating. Standing in the shadow of Evelyn, Claire seemed smaller, her glittering allure paling against the quiet dignity of a woman who had endured heartbreak, yet risen untouchable. Evelyn didn't need to shout. Her silence was louder than any accusation. She was no longer the wife waiting in the dark for scraps of affection. She was the owner now, the leader who had taken betrayal and turned it into power. She didn't stand there out of vengeance, but out of triumph. For Nathan, the truth came crashing over him like a wave. He saw with piercing clarity what he had done, traded gold for glitter, substance for shadows, love for lust. Claire, once intoxicating, now looked shallow and fleeting. And Evelyn, his Evelyn, stood untouchable, transformed into something greater than he had ever valued. But Evelyn carried no malice in her gaze. Though she had every reason to expose him, to strip him of pride in front of the world, she chose restraint. She turned her eyes away, not to retreat, but to show that her life no longer revolved around his choices. She had carved her own destiny, and whether Nathan accepted it or not, she was free. The staff watched her with admiration. Guests whispered as if they were witnessing history. Claire shrank with envy, and Nathan stood there hollow, gripped by a sorrow deeper than words could capture. In the days that followed, Nathan wandered through silence. Empty rooms echoed with memories he once overlooked. The mornings Evelyn poured him coffee, the nights she stayed awake to listen to his restless dreams. He realized too late that all the wealth, all the status, meant nothing compared to the unwavering love she had once given him. He hadn't lost her because she was lacking. He lost her because he had failed to see she was everything. Evelyn, on the other hand, flourished. Under her leadership, the hotel became more than a monument to luxury. It became a symbol of resilience, of starting over, of second chances. Guests spoke of the elegant woman who had endured betrayal but rose with grace, turning her heartbreak into strength. She didn't just own the hotel, she embodied it. Grand, graceful, unshakable. And as Evelyn stood bathed in sunlight pouring through the towering windows, the world no longer saw a wife left behind. They saw a woman reborn,